Most people think that landlords hate rent-to-rent, but after years of running our own rent-to-rent business, helping hundreds of mentees secure properties, we've realised something. A lot of landlords actually prefer it. And in this video, I want to explain why. Because the reality is, landlords aren't always just looking for the highest possible rent. Landlords are actually looking for certainty. They're looking for less stress, someone that they can rely on and someone that they can trust. That's why in this video, we're going to be breaking down why some landlords instantly reject it, what they're thinking during the outreach stage, and why finally some landlords actually say yes. Because most people completely misunderstand landlords. And honestly, that's why most landlord outreach fails. Now, one of the biggest mistakes that I see, for beginners especially, is that they think landlords only care about one thing: money. But after years of being in this industry, I can tell you one thing that's certain. Landlords aren't bothered about squeezing every last pound out of a property. They really care about peace of mind. Think about it. A landlord might already own a dozen properties, they might live overseas, they might even have a full-time job. And actually, a lot of landlords are exhausted. They're tired of constant rules and regulation changes, they're tired of bad tenants. So when a landlord hears guaranteed rent and will take care of everything, that suddenly sounds very attractive, because you're no longer competing against tenants. You're actually competing against their stress. And this is where most beginners get it wrong. They'll pitch rent to rent as, can I make money off of your property? But landlords don't care about your Airbnb profits. They care that they're going to get their rent on time and that the property stays in good condition. At the end of the day, that's what they're buying into. They're buying into peace of mind. Now, let's dive into one of the biggest reasons that landlords actually choose rent to rent, and that is guaranteed rent. And personally, I think people really underestimate this, because most landlords have experienced void periods, late rent payments, and just really bad tenants. It creates a real headache for them, because when their mortgage payment comes out and if they don't have the rent that month to cover it, that has to come out of their own pocket. Also, from an admin perspective, they have to chase that tenant up constantly, and they're constantly wondering if they are going to pay, if ever. With a good rent-to-rent agreement, the landlord knows that the rent is going to land every month. And if it doesn't, well, they have a lot more power on a company-let agreement to evict you than they would do on an AST. At the end of the day, you are running a business from their property, and businesses generate cash flow. So the landlord has that peace of mind, knowing that a business is going to be paying their rent and not a person. And for a lot of landlords, especially large portfolio landlords, that certainty is more valuable than the highest possible rent, because predictable income allows them to manage their mortgages, forecast cash flow, and reduce that management. And this becomes even more important in unstable markets. A lot of landlords would rather earn less if it means zero hassle. And that's a key thing that most people are missing. Landlords aren't trying to maximize income, they're trying to minimize problems. Now, this next one surprises a lot of people, because what we frequently hear, and one of the biggest objections is, but won't Airbnb guests destroy the property? And honestly, bad operators can genuinely allow damage to these properties, but professionally managed service accommodation is completely different. In many cases, the property is monitored a lot more closely than it would be from a traditional tenant. And think about it, a normal long-term let, the tenant could live there for 12 months and the landlord never even gets a peep. Whereas in service accommodation, cleaners are going in once, if not twice a week, maintenance is reported and sorted out quickly, and so the property is constantly checked. And landlords actually love this part once they understand it, because you're treating the property like a hospitality asset rather than just a standard rental unit. And this is why professionalism matters so much. A landlord doesn't want someone trying out Airbnb. They want a proper business. There's a big difference there. Now, at the same time, we need to be completely honest. Some landlords just hear rent to rent. And honestly, sometimes it's for a good reason. Because out there are operators who are subletting without permission, they're causing problems with the neighbours, and generally not taking care of the property. That's where the damaged reputation of this industry is coming from. And more landlords are becoming aware of it, which means when you approach a landlord, they're often trying to figure out, are you one of those or are you a professional? That's exactly what's going on in their head. And this is why trust is everything when you're doing landlord outreach. Good operators have proper communication in place, proper systems there, cleaning teams, and good organisation. The difference between a professional operator and a beginner is night and day. And landlords usually can sense this within the first few minutes of speaking to you. Now, why do most beginners get rejected? This is probably the most important part of this video because most people think that landlords just instantly reject rent to rent, but usually it's the uncertainty that they're rejecting. Most beginners approach a landlord and just say, yeah, I'll just stick it on Airbnb. That's just simply not enough. Landlords are assessing your demeanor, your professionalism, and your operations. Remember, if you're not coming across with credibility, the landlord is not going to hand over a high value asset like a property. So when someone turns up with no business structure, no plan, no hospitality experience, of course the landlord is going to say no, because from their perspective, it feels way too risky. The operators who are making a success of this are positioning themselves like an actual business, not a side hustle. So what actually makes a landlord say yes? Honestly, it's not just some magic sentence. Most people think there's a secret formula to this, and the truth is, there isn't. It's the overall feeling of certainty that you can create. Landlords want to feel like their property is going to be in safe hands and that you give them the confidence to hand the keys over to you. The best operators secure deals by communicating professionally with the landlord, but mainly because they understand the landlord's pain points. If you can focus on solving a landlord's problems, they will hand their keys over to you without an issue. You should focus on how you can solve the landlord's problems, not just on how you can make more money. This is something that we always teach our students in the academy. Not to pitch Airbnb, but to pitch a solution. And that is what creates the outcome, not some fancy sales line. Ironically, a lot of landlords actually become more understanding of the rent-to-rent model the more they understand how it's run as a professional business. At the end of the day, landlords aren't looking for the perfect strategy. They're looking for the right operator. That's why some people really struggle massively with outreach, while some are securing deals consistently. Because outreach isn't about convincing, it's about creating confidence. Hopefully this video has been helpful to you if you are in the landlord outreach phase or if you're just about to get started. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.